how much of that is real from those low-cost airlines? Are they really adding available seat kilometres, or is it just a nice way to sort of make some waves and try and disrupt the industry further?
Well, in the short term, of course, nobody is growing. Everybody is flying a fraction of what they normally would fly at this time of year. Of course, we're in the real high season of summer, which is prime earning season, so really the source of profit for all these three low-cost carriers. The difference between EasyJet and the other two is that over a short term, all of them are flying well below their normal levels of capacity. EasyJet will see its fleet shrink by more than 30 aircraft over the next 12 months. Ryanair is talking about possible order deferrals, and of course they already had problems of delivery delays because of Boeing's MAX grounding, with Ryanair being a Boeing operator. Wizz, on the other hand, is still taking new aircraft, and in the last few weeks they've announced about 7 new bases, and they will start a brand new venture in Abu Dhabi in the autumn of this year. So there is real growth coming through. Of course, all airlines are watching on a day-by-day, month-by-month basis to see if they can still fulfill that, depending on how much demand comes back. And at the moment, demand is still very, very fragile, and I think we'll see some review of the level of growth from all those three as time goes on.
Why do you think EasyJet is taking this more cautious stance then, John?
Well, partly it reflects shareholder challenges for EasyJet. The founder, of course, of EasyJet, Stelios Hadjiantou, has been very vocal, not only in the last few weeks, but over recent months, that he felt the company was expanding too quickly. He was pushing very much to see a cancellation of its forward orders of over 100 Airbus aircraft. To some extent, he's getting his way in that we're seeing these order deferrals and aircraft leaving the fleet. But it's a risk, as I mentioned, by putting the airline in a smaller space in the ranking of the three major low-cost carriers. It will save cost right now in terms of capex, but it leaves the company less able to take advantage of opportunities as they would be expected to come. And other airlines are going to fail, other markets and routes are going to see disappearance of capacity, and that's where I would expect Ryanair and Wizz to jump in. And I would have normally expected the same to apply for EasyJet. So it is perhaps an unusual approach.
John, let me ask you about a different subject within aviation, and that is Virgin Atlantic and the future there. It seems our latest reporting suggests that this company is closing in on a £400 million rescue plan. It's interesting to me that this is hedge funds perhaps stepping in here, and before it was hedge funds, it was maybe activist investors. Why is a volatile sector that doesn't necessarily always make you a lot of money, aviation, why is it so attractive, do you think, to these kinds of investors?
Well, ordinarily, the airline sector should be a big generator of cash flow. Of course, that again doesn't apply now, and Virgin is very exposed to the North Atlantic market. Its major market is off limits at the moment, and that's affecting a number of long-haul operators, with the US borders being closed and the EU looking at banning US citizens visiting Europe. But longer term, hopefully that market recovery will come. It can be a lucrative market as well if it is operated in the right way. Certain carriers such as British Airways ordinarily make enormous profits from the North Atlantic. Virgin, of course, has a big slot portfolio at London Heathrow Airport. Those slots could have a tacit value, albeit I believe they are pretty well securitized already by Virgin against other finance that it raised back in 2015. But it also has a partnership with Delta Airlines, and I think people will look at the position of Virgin at Heathrow. And again, I have to sort of add caution to my words. Ordinarily, Heathrow is a honeypot for airlines. It's difficult to get in because it is full. Those slots are important in giving access. We have to assume that recovers in future to that level of activity, because right now, even Heathrow is suffering from lost traffic. But there would be hope there of something positive for the airline in the future once the coronavirus pandemic is past.